book is Peppa Pig in the Vegetable Garden. Peppa Pig and her little brother George are playing at Grandpa Pig and Granny Pig's house. They love to help Grandpa Pig in the garden. "What are you doing, Grandpa Pig?" asked Peppa. "I'm planting seeds." "What happens to the seeds?" "They go into plants. I make a small hole in the ground, put the seed inside, and cover it with earth. Then I water it. Everything in my garden grows from seeds like this." "Bonk! Ouch!" says Grandpa Pig. An apple fell on his head. Peppa and George laugh. Grandpa laughs too. "Look," he says. "Inside this apple are more seeds to grow more apple trees," says Peppa. "I want to plant a seed," Peppa says. She makes a little hole and puts the seed in it. Then she covers the seed with earth. Grandpa lets her water it. "Now we wait for it to grow," he says. Peppa waits. George waits. They wait and wait and wait. "It's not doing anything," says Peppa. Grandpa Pig laughs. "You have to be patient." "Ah, what's that?" says Peppa. "It's a monster." "Monster," says George. Grandpa laughs. "It's just a little snail." "Grrr," says George. "Monster." He likes the snail. "Let's play snails," says Peppa. Grandpa finds some baskets for Peppa and George, and they play snails in the garden. "Look," says Peppa, "a butterfly." "Why do butterflies love flowers?" "They drink from flowers," says Grandpa Pig. "They drink the flowers' nectar. It's their food." "Look at me, I'm playing butterfly," Peppa shouts. George wants to be a butterfly too. "No, George, I'm a butterfly. You can play worm." George doesn't want to play worm. "Come on, George," says Grandpa Pig. "Playing worm is fun." Grandpa Pig shows George how to lie on the ground and wiggle. Soon Peppa wants to play worm too. Hee hee hee. Grandpa plants some more seeds. He drops them on the ground, but when he turns around, a little bird is eating them. "Shoo, shoo," says Grandpa Pig. "Shoo, shoo." Granny Pig comes to see. "We need a scarecrow," she says. Grandpa Pig brings Peppa and George to his garden shed. "We'll find lots of things in here to make a scarecrow with," he says. He finds sticks, string, some straw, and an old sack. They build a scarecrow, then dress it in some old clothes. Peppa and George paint a face. The birds see the scarecrow. They stop eating Grandpa's seeds. "The birds look sad," says Peppa. "They must be hungry." Granny Pig brings out a bird feeder. "Lunchtime, birds," she calls. Mommy and Daddy Pig have come. Granny Pig needs blackberries to make a pie for lunch. Everybody wants to help. "This blackberry bush has been here since I was a little girl," says Mummy Pig. Mummy Pig climbs the ladder to get to the berries at the top. "Oh no! Mummy Pig falls into the bush. Where is she?" Mummy Pig is okay, but she looks like a berry bush. Peppa and George pick berries from the mummy bush. Grandpa Pig, Peppa, and George finish picking vegetables for lunch. They make a salad. Granny Pig cuts up a cucumber. "I love cucumbers," says Peppa. "Yuck," says George. He doesn't like salad. Grandpa has an idea. He gives George a new plate. Dinosaur, says George. He eats the salad. He likes it. He loves Granny Pig's blackberry pie, too. Yum! The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is when Grandpa Pig gets George a new plate and shapes the salad like a dinosaur. This book is Peppa Pig and the Great Vacation. Peppa and George are packing to go on vacation. You can't bring everything, says Daddy Pig. But we need all our toys, says Peppa. Just your favorites, says Daddy Pig. Peppa brings Teddy. George brings his dinosaur. Dinosaur, grrr, says George. Can Goldie come too? Asks Peppa. Sorry, Peppa. Goldie can't join us, but Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig will look after her. The car is packed and the family's on the road. When will we get there? Calls Peppa from the back seat. Daddy Pig tells Peppa that they have a long drive. They head out to the countryside and on their to a rented vacation house near the ocean. At their vacation house, Mommy Pig unpacks her suitcase. She brought a lot of things. I miss Goldie, says Peppa. Do you think she's all right? I think so, says Mommy Pig. Peppa calls Grandpa Pig just to make sure. The next morning, it is very sunny and warm. A perfect day for a walk, said Daddy Pig. Daddy, you found a pool, calls Peppa. Splash! Yes, says Daddy Pig. I did. Mommy Pig goes shopping in town. Peppa and George went to have pizza for lunch. Mommy Pig has found some presents for Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig. That won't all fit in your suitcase, says Daddy Pig. Look what Mommy Pig has. She has a garden gnome, a drum, a plate, a seashell, a starfish, a net, and I think she has another plate, and a banjo, I think. I think she also has a violin, maybe, and a net, and 2 carpets. That's a lot. I want to get something too, says Peppa. I hope it's small, says Daddy Pig. It is, says Peppa. It's a postcard, and it doesn't have to go in a suitcase. It will go in the mail. The next day, Peppa and her family go on a nature walk. Daddy Pig has packed a big picnic lunch. There's nothing here but trees, says Peppa. Look around, Peppa, says Mommy Pig. There's lots to see here. Peppa looks around. Tracks, she says. I see tracks. Dinosaur? Asks George. No, George. No dinosaur tracks, says Peppa Pig. The tracks came to an end. Peppa gets Daddy Pig's binoculars and looks up. I see birds, a mother and babies in the nest. Peppa likes looking through the binoculars. Next she looks down. I see ants, she says. They're carrying leaves for lunch. Ant salad. Yuck, says George. Peppa's hungry. So are Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig and George. Time for a nice picnic lunch. Peppa can't wait to tell Granny Pig and Grandpa Pig what a nice day they had on their nature walk. Look, the ants are taking away all their food. One has big grapes, one has cheese, one even has pizza. One has an apple, one has a carrot, and the birds are looking at them, and they're eating sandwiches, and no one seems to notice that their food is being taken. But I think George noticed. Look at his eyes. He's looking right down at the ants. That evening, evening, Peppa calls Grandpa Pig. He promises to tell Goldie that Peppa misses her and that she will be home soon. We're taking good care of her, he says. The next day, Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig and Peppa and George go to the beach. It is a sandy beach with lots of rocks. Peppa finds a shell. George finds a fossil. Daddy Pig finds a crab. Look, the crab is biting Daddy Pig's finger. There's a tide pool, says Peppa. Peppa and George look in the tiny pool. There are small plants. There's a gold coin, says Peppa. Ooh, says George. Something is making bubbles. What could it be? What do you think it is? Let's find out. A fish, says Peppa. Hello, fish. You love my fish, Goldie. Vacation is nearly over. Time to pack the suitcase and get back in the car. Look, they're leaving. And Peppa and George are looking back at the orange trees and some grape vines and some beautiful pink flowers. It's a long drive home, but Peppa has Teddy to keep her company in the back seat. She has George too. It has been a great vacation, but she can't wait to see Goldie. Mummy Pig gives Granny Pig her present. Peppa runs to see Goldie. Oh, you've grown, she says. A lot. She seemed hungry, said Grandpa Pig. Mr. Zebra arrives. I have a postcard all the way from the beach, he said. Look, Goldie, says Peppa. You've got mail. Something from our great vacation. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is Peppa Pig went to the beach and in the tide pool she found a little fish and gold coins. Peppa Pig dentist trip. Every morning Peppa and George brush their teeth. Brush, 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 brush. George, are your teeth as clean as mine? Peppa asked, showing off her shiny white teeth. You both have lovely clean teeth. I'm sure the dentist would be happy, called out Daddy Pig. Later that day, Peppa and George are at the dentist's office, waiting for their checkups. It is George's first visit. Peppa, George, the dentist will see you now, says Miss Rabbit the nurse. Hooray! They both cheer. Peppa and George meet Dr. Elephant, the dentist. Who's first? He asked. I'm first, replies Peppa. I'm a big girl. Watch me, George. Open wide, please, Dr. Elephant says. Peppa opens her mouth as wide as she possibly can. Let's take a look, says Dr. Elephant, checking Peppa's teeth with a mirror. There, all done. What beautiful clean teeth, says Dr. Elephant. Now you can rinse your mouth. Gargle. Phew! The pink liquid tastes like bubble gum. Peppa spits it out into the sink. It's George's turn next. George does not want it to be his turn. Dr. Elephant can tell he is nervous, so he lets George hold Mr. Dinosaur. All done. You have very strong, clean teeth, George. Dr. Elephant smiles. But wait, what's this? Cries Dr. Elephant. George has clean teeth, but this young dinosaur's teeth are very dirty. The water jet, please, Miss Rabbit, orders the dentist. He uses the water to clean Mr. Dinosaur's teeth. Pink, cries George, picking up the glass. That's right, George, says Dr. Elephant. Mr. Dinosaur needs to rinse with the bubblegum-flavored drink. Gurgle. Wow, what shiny teeth you have, Mr. Dinosaur, cries Miss Rabbit. Dinosaur, grrr, says George. George loves Mr. Dinosaur, especially now that he has nice clean teeth. Now Peppa and George have clean teeth too. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Mr. Dinosaur had to get sprayed with the water jet. Peppa Pig in the Backyard Circus. It's a sunny day. Peppa and her friends are visiting Grandpa and Grandma Pig. Grandpa Pig is using his hammer. Bang, bang, bang. It's a circus tent, says Peppa. Hooray! Everyone shouts. Ooh, says Peppa. Can we see the circus, Grandpa Pig? This isn't a circus tent, says Grandpa Pig. It looks like a circus tent, said Peppa. What is it? It's for Granny Pig's garden party, he says. Peppa doesn't know what a garden party is. Grandpa Pig tells her it's a party where grown-ups stand around and talk. It doesn't sound like fun to Peppa. She has a better idea. Let's put on our own show, says Peppa. We'll call it Peppa's Circus. Granny Pig thinks having a circus at her garden party is a very good idea. Everyone wants to join the circus. Danny Dog wants to be the strong man. Emily Elephant wants to be the juggler. My father used to work in a circus, says Emily Elephant. He did? Asked Peppa. What did he do? Peppa knows that sometimes there are elephants in a circus. He was a ticket taker, says Emily. Admit 1. Granny Pig brings the dress-up box. There are lots of fun things inside. Danny Dog finds polka dot shorts and a stick-on mustache. My strongman suit, he says. Peppa finds a hat. Pedro Pony finds a clown costume and a horn. Honk, honk! Rebecca Rabbit does makeup. Hold still, Pedro, she says. Everyone is dressed and ready for the show. Grandpa, says Peppa, I don't have anything to do. Well, you could be the ringmaster, he says. What does the ringmaster do? Asked Peppa. The ringmaster is the boss, says Grandpa Pig. Peppa likes that idea. I would be the ringmaster boss, she says. Good, says Grandpa. You can say, welcome to my circus. Come and see the amazing feats of daring do. Granny's guests start to arrive. Everyone crowds inside the striped tent. Welcome to my circus, shouts Peppa. Come and see the amazing feat. The circus begins. Prepare to be scared, says Peppa. Is that a tiger? Grr, meow. Rebecca asked. No, it's Candy Cat. Now watch the amazing cyclists. George, Richard, and Emerald. Here's the strong man, Danny Dog. Danny shows his muscles. He wants to show the crowd how strong he is. He lifts Peppa. Ooh, says the crowd. Now please welcome Emily Elephant, who will juggle 2 potatoes and 1 egg. Toss, drop, toss, drop, toss, splat. When Pedro Pony the clown walks into the ring, everyone laughs. Spray! Ha ha ha! Everyone laughs again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and elephants, cats and ponies, says Peppa. Thank you for coming to my circus. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is where Danny Dog lifts Peppa. And also I have another favorite part. It is where Peppa says feet, like the foot feet. Peppa Pig and the Lost Dinosaur. George loves playing with Mr. Dinosaur. He tosses him up. Mr. Dinosaur comes down. Up and down, up and down. George would like to play with Mr. Dinosaur all day, but Mummy Pig is calling. Peppa, George, it's shopping day. Time to go to the market. The first shop is a fruit seller. Peppa tries an apple. Yum, she says. Mummy Pig buys a bag of apples. At the cheese stall, George knows which one he wants. The stinky one! Daddy Pig sniffs the cheese. Oh my, he says. The cheese is too stinky for Daddy Pig. There are so many choices at the fish stall. It's hard to decide what to get, so Mummy Pig buys one of each. Peppa and her family get to Mr. Fox's stall just in time. It's raining. He has an umbrella for everyone. Time to go home, says Daddy Pig. Let's play, says Peppa. Yay, says George. Dinosaur. He looks around. Dinosaur? Dinosaur! George starts to cry. Oh no, says Daddy Pig. Mr. Dinosaur is lost. I'm good at finding things, says Peppa. I will find him. Peppa looks all around. Maybe Mr. Dinosaur is in the bathtub, she says, but Mr. Dinosaur isn't in the bathtub. I will look in George's bed, she says, but Mr. Dinosaur isn't in George's bed either. Maybe George dropped Mr. Dinosaur in the market, says Daddy Pig. Let's go to the police station and see if Officer Panda and Officer Squirrel can help. Officer Panda and Officer Squirrel ask George many questions. Please tell us everything you can about your dinosaur, says Officer Panda. Use as many words as you like. Dinosaur, says George. There are many, many lost things at the station. They have lots of different dinosaurs. There's a purple one, a red one, and a blue one. But they don't have Mr. Dinosaur. In the car, George is sad, but then he remembers something. Back at home, George runs to the yard. Everyone follows. They look all around. Then something falls from the tree and bonk! Hits Daddy Pig on the head. What was that? Says Daddy Pig. Mr. Dinosaur, says Peppa. Dinosaur, says George. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is when George finds his dinosaur. Thank you for reading with me.